Hey, hi, good evening, everybody. My name's Adam, and thanks for checking out Kronos World New London. Tonight's going to be a pretty fun time, I think. I hope. I prayed. And we have some new faces, some similar ones. This one being one of them, I suppose, and our lovely Eric W. Playing the Kobold Cowboy. And with us this evening, we have some new faces. So I'm going to go ahead and put you guys on the spot without telling you about this in front of anything. So we'll start with our wonderful Genji.
Oh, hello. Hi, I'm Genji. I'm going to be playing Juste, the Paladin Clockwork Automaton.
Yeah, okay. There's no more to that.
No.
Perfect. And going by the name of Poke Things, why don't you go ahead and say who you are and the character you're playing?
As he said, poke things just because, rogues and rangers poke things all the time. It's pretty much all I play. Character is Kale Winleaf, a core rogue swashbuckler in the town to, be a rogue.
And explain a little bit about what the core is.
The core is was sort of an addition to 5e from Planeswalker Magic the Gathering set. Just sort of like an extra little thing that they often add races and stuff like that. The core is a sort of a human. The lore, not too sure of as far as Magic the Gathering goes. However, in 5e, I believe it's just said that they're sort of like a human race that sort of focuses on exploration and whatnot. They have quite a bit of a few mixed races traits, such as like the brave, lucky feet. They have natural climbing, and they're just kind of like a really cool elfish human race. I don't know how to explain it exactly. I happen to like just their general look and how you can fit them into sort of like any story, just because they're planeswalker. They kind of come from different planes and whatnot.
All right, that wasn't drawn out at all. Moving on. I'm sorry. We have Miss Abigator.
Oh my God, it's me. Hello, everybody. My name is Abigator. You can call me Abby or Abigator. It really doesn't matter. Well, for today and probably for the rest of the campaign, I am going to be playing Gertie, who is a rock gnome. She's very, very tiny, and she is. Sorry, I got distracted. She is not an. Yeah, I always get Artificer and Archivist mixed up because I played a Mouse Guard campaign once where I played an Archivist. Artificer. She's an artificer, and she worked at the local university for a while, making automatons. She's then, since then, quit the university, has kind of gone her own way, has a little shop where she sells like healing potions and stuff, and Gertie's just kind of hanging out right now, and I guess you'll find out more about her today. I'm super excited.
Great. And Eric, why don't you reintroduce yourself in case there's anybody new joining us this evening?
What's up? I'm Eric W., aka Ancient Man Beast, aka Eric Explosions on Twitter, which I'm sure nobody's seen. I play Cole Diamondback Hollister, a kobold cowboy with his mighty steed Lightning, the donkey. Yeah, he's an eccentric guy. He's deadly. He's man about town. The ladies love him. The men want to be him. He's just that kind of you know what I'm saying? So get this game going.
Please. That is pretty funny. Okay, so anyways, little bit, there's just quite a bit that's kind of happened so far. We did start this campaign of New London set in the Kronos World setting, as a homebrew setting, and we started January 3rd with Eric and then 3 other players actually, and we'll be picking up where we left off. So a brief recap. you're definitely welcome to go back to the YouTube and Twitch to view the previous episodes. Does anybody have any shout outs they want to do before we dive in and I start doing a different voice?
Nope, I'm good.
Nothing. All right.
Check out the Discord and the Facebook and the YouTube and the Twitter and the Patreon because the channel's awesome. Yeah, I just shouted out their own channel, you know.
Inspiration for that.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. Extra HP.
All right. So, diving in a little bit here. Our story began with Cole and 3 other citizens, residents of London, a industrialized, technologically advanced city set in the Victorian era, England. There was a calamity causing the rifts of space and time to twist, and essentially the greatest civilizations from their time period were all sort of blended in with our current world. London is a Victorian-style city, currently set in what is a mostly medieval land. The surrounding areas and villages are very unadvanced. They have stone buildings, thatch roofs, farms as far as you can see. The dirt roads between these villages are
Host
very
connection
traveled than they are
detected.
by horse and
Routing
carriage.
hollow feed now.
London itself is bustling. It's dirty. The entire sky is always tinted this oily orange from the soot and ash spilled up from the factories and tanneries. There's a very large spire in the center of the city, and it's known as the Regalia. The Regalia is where most of the city works take place. The government is established there, and atop the Regalia rests the home of the Princess of London. Throughout the Regalia are many large homes, very affluent people, and throughout farther from that are what's called the lower ward, the slums of London. Very poor, very ragged living circumstances, and it's there where our 4 companions met, all summoned by an individual known as the Faceless Man. They met this person, all promised and searching for different things, and immediately found that it was not an individual to be trusted. Their lives were put in danger when they quickly escaped, slaying a spider-like automaton creature, making their way to the streets where a brawl broke out. Amari, the sorceress of the party, she had used some power that she wasn't quite sure of the magnitude of it, and accidentally killed some innocent civilians. Cole, the kobold cowboy, was witnessed in this brawl as well. It's kind of hard to miss a kobold in a duster with slinging pistols. They all escaped. Shadow, he was a tabaxi member of the Metaphysical Investigation Authority, a secret type society whose main goal was specifically to investigate and prevent the spread of any metaphysical, paranormal influences in the city, those especially that weren't welcome. He had gathered the party and brought them back to his headquarters, where the party was then asked to investigate a sect of the Faceless Man that was known to be creating an object that could nullify one's use of magic through sound itself. And as they went to investigate, they were met by a large explosion and a very large, crazed man wearing a mechanized battle suit of sorts. It was very prototype and haphazard, but it seemed to do its job. disposing with him quicker than the GM thought that they would, they made their ways through the sewers. The sewers then held a new friend that they had met who led them to the regalia, unseen by the Coppermen, the law enforcement of the city that were currently searching for 2 of the 4 party. There, they had spent the night, but unfortunately, Cole's trusted steed, Lightning, did not travel with them. He had spent most of that afternoon concerned, and that is where we're going to pick up with Cole in the commissary area of the MIA building. Around you are several empty picnic bench style tables with bench seats, all made out of very nice sanded wood. There's a long counter in the back that currently has some baskets with bread, about a day old, and there's pitchers of water set at the edge. More of a come and go as you please sort of thing at the moment. But you are in the room with Shadao.
Okay.
And he's just kind of sitting across the table from you with his elbows down, resting his face on his chin, reflecting on the previous days.
Well, the night has now fallen, right?
Yes, it is late. It's probably about 10:30 at night.
It's the perfect time. Cole wants to go and look for Lightning now. Now that night has descended, sunlight sensitivity isn't kicking in. There's, it's harder for people to see him. So he's going to say, well, I got to go look for my steed. I will be back. It's about time I moseyed on, since it's past dusk. Perfect time to find a donkey, I always say.
Take care, little kobold. You might have some trouble getting back in by yourself, but I appreciate the help you've given.
No worries. Trust me. I can find my way back into anywhere. Even if you don't want me to, I'll be there. So no worries on that.
Take
he
care.
Does a little tip with his hat, kind of like with his little legs, and he uses this little duster. He kind of does the whole out. And he moseys on into the darkness to look for his steed.
All right. So going out of this building, the first way you came in, heading down a corridor, there is a very long spiral staircase that goes down. You remember this climb up being a lot harder. As you get to the bottom of it, you see the old man who is sitting there at a table with the same young man who had got scolded last time for letting you in without the proper credentials. As you walk down, the old man says, good, I'm glad one of you are leaving. I'm going to get something to eat. He looks back at the young person. Don't fuck up again. And he turns and walks up the staircase and leaves you in the room with him.
I say, don't do you. You could do better. Remember, I believe in you. I mean, I know you're kind of a fuck up, but just keep at it. We'll do fine, okay? And then I give him evening, and I go out.
All right. And so he walks to the door. He opens it with the big ring of keys. He pulls it open. And as you walk out, you notice that there's, again, a long corridor that leads to a staircase. This
stairs.
Oh no, we lost him.
Uh-oh.
Anyway,
I can go wherever I want now. Ooh,
just go wherever you want in the world now.
Okay, now I have a minigun, and
all right, we'll be back in a couple minutes, you guys. And on with the stuff once the internet stuff gets resolved.
Oh,
hey, are we good, Adam?
I'm so sorry about that. I don't know.
We're good.
What was going on? All right, are we good?
Yes.
I think we're good.
Sorry.
I have a minigun now, by the way.
Yeah, I knew something would happen while I was gone. As you're walking up the staircase, you see an individual coming towards you, passing you on this thin staircase. He's going down, you're going up.
Oh.
He looks at you and make an intelligence check, please.
Oh, I'm really good at those. Oh yes, I killed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of looks down at you. Should have done this before we started. I always have to stop for a second, Fix my shit. All right. He looks down at you, and he just kind of huffs as he does one of those shoulder turns to go by you without bumping into you.
Yeah.
He makes
Okay.
his way down the staircase. You make your way back up into the room with the several generators placed around it. And through the ceiling, you see hundreds, if not thousands, of copper wire cables coming in through little tubes that feed up into the roof. They come down and they spread out like spider webs across the entire ceiling. You look up and you just see wires. Every now and then you see a very faint bzz, bzz, coming from the wires that are stretching across. You make your way out of the door that gave you guys so much trouble the first time, and now you are in the upper part of the regalia of London.
Okay. I want to start. I mean, I was going to say, I forgot when I was back in the kitchen, I grabbed some of his favorite treats, like some cheese or something.
Okay.
Lightning. So I got some cheese on me. And yeah, he's going to go off and kind of to where, like, the general area where we left him, and then kind of try to follow some tracks. There's not a lot of donkeys in London, so I figure his tracks probably be more noticeable than.
Not a lot of donkeys. There are a lot of horses, whether by themselves or carrying carts. But smaller hooves are what you're looking for. Making your way out of the regalia more towards the lower ward area where you left him. I'd like you to make a survival check, please.
Oh, yes. I'm good at those.
Indeed, you are. So searching around the areas where there are a lot of horse traffic, it's kind of hard to tell. There's the streets are just filthy. There's soot, there's coal, there's horse shit, rotten vegetables, meat that's fallen off of wagons and carts, and shit that people just flung into the street because they didn't want it in their house. So stepping over all that and through it, the smell is just terrible, but immediately you catch the scent of your old pal Lightning.
Oh.
And turning, you now see the tracks leading you away. You don't know how far away he is, but these tracks don't look too old.
Okay.
So you make your way through the area. Just
Yes.
as a copperman of London,
Mm-hmm.
and the only automaton copperman of London at all, you've been given the night shift, the ones that nobody really wants, but you're capable enough to do it. As you're patrolling the lower ward district this evening, there's quite a lot of commotion going on. There's every pub seems to be lively, even in such a depressing and stinky place. The music and lights and noise and cheers are coming from every other building. It seems like there's some sort of bar or alcohol being served in it. Making your way down, there doesn't seem to be a lot of riffraff on the streets, just the occasional person who stumbles out of the pub and throws up all over the place just to go back in because now he's got room to drink more. And you hear, actually, can you make a perception check, please?
Perception, sure thing. Ooh.
First roll.
Does that really say what I think it does?
It really does.
Oh,
That's a
my
0.
God.
That's a
Oh,
straight
honey.
0.
That's an ultimate crit
honey.
fail.
Being so comfortable knowing that there's nothing really happening going on, you decide to just close your eyes and kind of just stand there for a moment, taking your brief shutdown to recharge, leaning up against the building so you don't even have to put any weight on your feet, just taking a breath. Well, you don't really breathe, but taking a rest, and kind of ignoring your duties at the moment.
All right.
Didn't expect a 0. All right. Cole, you start hearing lightning. You start hearing his echoed hee-haws bouncing off of the buildings surrounding you, lining the streets and the small courtyards behind it. You're just trying to find him, but it's this entire city, especially the lower ward, is like a maze. Any open spot that there ever was has some sort of tent or shack built up. housing 1 or 2 or 5 people in their family, it's kind of difficult to make your way around. Can you make one more survival check, please?
Okay. For tracking lighting.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Where's my... Sorry. Survival.
All right, 16. So you make your way out into a busier street, though. Before you enter the street, knowing that the last time you were down here in this area, you were currently being chased, and last you heard of, you were wanted. How do you want to go about that?
Well, it is dark, right? And this is the poor district, so I'm assuming there's not like a lot of gas lamps around, right?
No.
Relatively dark. It's like
Yep.
There's not really. Okay, so I would probably have my hat like down behind my back, so it's not like on my head. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if I still have the quote unquote disguise from before, but
I don't know. Do you?
which was just like a hoodie, basically, right?
Oh yeah, I think you just had a hood on.
Yeah, I don't really need the hood. I just have my hat like like kind of like on my backpack, like with the so it's not on my head, and I'm just keeping to the shadows.
Okay.
Tracking. Yeah.
Go ahead and make a stealth check. You have to beat a 0.
I think I can not possibly. Yeah.
Listen.
That's all right. That's all right. I embarrass myself for 3 hours during these sessions, so I'm going to get you guys every now and then. Don't worry about it. You make your way out into the busier street, looking around. You don't really see anything other than what looks to be a copperman leaning up against the wall, head kind of down, with the bowler hat tipped a bit. Obviously not paying attention to anything on this planet at the moment.
And this is juiced?
Cole doesn't know that.
But out of character, this is... So who am I... What's the description? What am I seeing of this character?
You are seeing about a 6-foot-tall individual with brown pants, suspenders, and her shoulders and arms, the parts that are not covered by clothing, kind of glimmer a little bit off of every light in the area, metallic in nature. You can't quite see everything. It is dark, like you said, but it would be. Yes.
So this is something I've never really seen before.
No.
Okay. Well, I will definitely try to not be seen by this creature, by this robot.
Okay. So as you step out, you have 3 directions. You can go right, where you see Just standing on the corner.
Mm-hmm.
You could go straight, or you could go left.
Where did the sound of lightning or the tracks?
In this area, it seems to be echoing off of everything. As far as the tracks go, and it leads out into this busy street, but again, the street is just absolutely filthy and a mess. It's kind of hard to see them.
I guess I would kind of like make sure I'm not in the purview of Juice, and then be like, lightning, I got cheese. You want your cheese, lightning? Special treats for lightning, trees.
A few minutes go by and you don't really hear anything.
God damn it. I guess I would I would go the other street, like the left one, to try to call again down that street.
Okay. So you kind of turn the corner and hobble off doing your kobold thing. At this point, Gertie and Kale, it's been kind of a crappy day. Not much has been sold at the kind of mom and pop potion shop. Kale, you haven't really done much interesting. You're used to the wind blowing through your hair, a little bit more of adventure. This city stinks like literal poop, and just rot. It's not clean very often. And
how I miss the wild.
You're both currently sitting in a very small tavern. There's about 5 round tables with about 3 chairs each, and you guys are claiming one of them as your own, each with a drink in front of you and a tallow candle lit on the table.
What did you say about the wild? You missed. Oh, welcome to the city, my friend.
Yes, the air is fresh outside. Not so much here.
At least in this part of town, of course. You know, so
It's the only part of town we hang out in.
the only part of town we're kind of allowed in. I mean, of course, like if we had lots of money, if I was dripping in jewelries, of course I would love to go to the quote unquote good part of town, but you know, I am not such a lucky individual. I sell potions. You have to make with life with what it is.
Fair point.
So tell me, how have you liked, besides the smell and the poverty and the lack of sales, how have you liked it here so far? As she kind of chuckles a little bit and takes a big gulp of her drink.
He goes, well, I had no expectations, which helps, so I'm not disappointed. You know?
I get you. So, how are we on the... She kind of looks around. And you have to understand that Gertie is a gnome. So she's a very, very short individual. She has a stool that's specifically made to kind of like set her up. So she's eye to eye with Kale, but still, Kale's kind of like a big guy. And she's this tiny, skinny gnome. She looks around like it's really important. Like, so how have the errands I've been sending you on, have they been good?
That's a DM question. How successful have I been in scouting out the, territory where she asked me to go and search for what she asked me to search for?
Oh, I guess I should have had you roll for this. Go ahead and roll 2d20.
Real quick.
We roll them.
Ouch.
Wow. Okay.
Oh no.
Well, they're just 2 d20s. We don't know yet.
Okay.
In the time you have spent in Gertie's employ, running her errands for her, you've not made much leeway as far as that. You have, however, realized, whether it's important or not, that a rather affluent individual seems to be making his way down here into the slums during the day, and he travels by carriage with 4 armed guards with him. It just seems to stick out, and you've noticed this each time you go and try to run your errand.
So, so Cal tells her, it's like, well, I haven't had much luck. There seems to be a lot of security around. I have yet not learned their pattern, but there's certainly something weird going on. We do have this guy coming in and out of the city often. Seems to be a very important carriage, as he's guarded by 4 big, bulky creatures. Not sure what to make of it. Thought might be interesting.
Don't say. So as he's saying this, Gertie pulls out a pen from her hair, which is an absolute mess. Anytime you look at her, she's just in total disrepair, and it looks like she's just in absolute chaos. So you see on her arm that she has notes written all up and down her arm. So as he's saying this, she starts to write down. Said on a carriage with how many guards did you say?
4, I believe. Would you like me to write things for you?
Oh no, this is the best way. No, it's all good.
Oh,
So you said 4 guards, and do you have any idea what the carriage looked like? Do you know what part of the city it was coming from?
Out of character with that. The perception roll, maybe? Or
You definitely would know where they were.
okay.
It was a little, I don't like that. Towards the outer edge of the lower ward, the slums district, like on the border of this area and the Regalia. It's very much like different sides of the train tracks.
Okay.
There are several train tracks, but none of them lead outside of the city currently. Yeah, you would definitely know where you've seen them because it's been in the same place every time you've witnessed this individual.
So they're not actually moving. They're like on this static on one spot every time I go around.
Yes, and it seems like this individual seems to be visiting the building unmarked. It doesn't really look like anything.
Okay.
You just happen to see him there on the street.
Okay. So I let her know. Well, he seems to have four guys looking out for him, but he definitely goes there a lot. Every time I've gone, I've seen the same dude going into the same unmarked building. Being a rogue, like he would know sort of kind of what to look for in certain areas. Yeah, he tells her that, you know, basically the basic description of the guy being guarded, 4 people in the carriage. He just seems to be there every single time.
Okay. So we got carriage with the rich guy with 4 guards who's basically coming from the border, from the regalia, the slums, going to this place pretty much every day. Though I appreciate that, and I'm sure that will have some use
Value
somehow,
at some point.
somewhere. Not what I quite hired you for, friend. Now I appreciate you. And this is, again, Gertie, who's very, very small, with this big rogue, kind of like wagging her pen at him. So it's just like by his nose. I expected more from you. You have been coming to my shop, young man, for a very, very long time. And I know
You have decent potions.
Thank you for the time you've spent. Maybe we...
Things like this take time. It's very fragile work, if you get my meaning. Can't make any mistakes, because once you make one, that'll be your last one.
Yeah, it's true. I'd much rather you be careful than make mistakes and get me found out. Or get yourself killed. Yeah, no.
Wouldn't want that.
No.
I like pretty much my limbs where they are.
As this happens, Just, you feel something on your knee. You look down, open your eyes, and you see a donkey standing there next to you.
Yeah.
Half on the street, half on the sidewalk, and it just kind of looks up at you. It makes this like donkey noise. Thank you.
Yes.
I'm gonna look down at this donkey, and I'm gonna kind of tip my hat back to where it should be, kind of kneel down a little bit, and I inspect this creature for a long time, never having actually seen a donkey before. And Just is going to say, "Oh, hello, strange thing."
Make an animal handling check, please.
Okay. Oh, I'm great at that too.
That's not bad.
Not bad.
Okay. So you reach down and you kind of grab him. He kind of makes a little shrug like that. Loosen your grip a moment, and it looks up at you, and you can tell it looks uncomfortable. It doesn't look like it wants to be where it is in the situation that it's in.
Just is gonna kind of tilt her head a little bit, give it a mechanical whir as she tilts, and she says, "Are you perhaps lost?"
Speak back to you. It's like, in the morning I'll make a waffles. I was just kidding. I'm sorry.
All of a sudden,
He's not that donkey.
Eddie Murphy.
You seem to have a lot of layers, like onions.
Right, everybody loves cakes.
Cole, as you're frantically searching around, you make your way back to the busy street where you look down and now you see that person that you saw standing there leaning up against the wall is kneeled down with their head very close to Lightning's. And Lightning seems to be just kind of standing there.
So he goes, oh shit, what's he with the fuzz? And then, I mean, this doesn't look like Lightning's in distress, right?
No.
Okay.
She's
I
just
guess-
going to like very awkwardly pet the donkey like this. Just gotta.
By the way, are you like head level with him at this point? You said you're
Yeah,
squatting down?
I've knelt down. Yeah.
Okay, so Lightning takes the hat, he bites the hat off your head. He's not chewing on it, he's just like holding it in his mouth.
She tilts her head the other way. Peculiar creature.
God damn it, Lightning, not the hat again. We're getting to get in the slammer.
Kale and Gertie, can you guys make a perception check, please?
Oh yes. First roll of the night. What? I got a 4. I don't perceive shit.
All right. So as every time you take a drink, the cup is made for a normal sized person. It kind of envelops your entire face. You can't really see much. And as you do, Kale kind of leans back and looks out the window with a sip of his own. And Kale, you see what looks like a copperman on its knees petting a donkey in a very awkward state. And now the donkey lifts up and bites the hat off this thing. And revealing this automaton face. You've heard of these things. You've never actually seen one before, especially not one in a copperman uniform, so freely out in the street.
So I'll take my sip and I'll go like, "Is that? Are you seeing this? Wow, I've never actually seen one." So
What are you talking about? So she turns and she looks.
Just I've heard of them, but I've never actually seen one.
And I'm guessing that Gertie sees the same thing that he.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. You take a look out this window, and it's right across the street from where you are. Is this happening?
She looks and her eyes get really, really wide. She like takes off her glasses and no, can't be. Without saying a word, gets off her stool and like hurries out the door without saying anything to Kale. Just kind of like
He goes,
starts walking.
Always does that. So he gets up and kind of like walks because he doesn't really have to run to catch up to her. So he kind of strides.
Okay. As you're making your way towards the door, you hear behind you, "Hey, you gonna pay for those, right?"
Oh,
She's
sure.
not listening.
My bad. I'll take care of it. He yells. I'll take care of it again.
She comes up, stops probably about 5 feet from where this big automaton, this very copper automaton, is sitting there awkwardly petting a donkey.
So I pay the guy while she heads there. How much do we spend?
Wait, is the GM Adam, are you still there? No?
Cameron's
Oh
I run out of the place.
Now I have
Nobody saw me. Advantage on stealth.
I fire into the air with wild abandon.
Oh, I think we got this. Wait. I think we're back on.
Now Lightning is a dragon, and I ride the dragon around.
Oh my.
We stole all of the booze, and now Lightning's a dragon. Congratulations, everybody.
I think that was a successful game.
Yes. I won, right?
GG. GG.
I have
By
a
the
dragon
way-
mount now.
Kale, I love that whole thing with that. No, you're gonna pay. I got it. I got it again. Thanks, Gertie.
All right, put it back.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay.
Sorry, I have no idea why my thing keeps just like cutting out on me this evening of
So
all.
go. We took care of business, man. We got you.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
So,
All right. So what? You guys are level 5 now.
Lightning's a dragon, and I'm riding
Yeah.
him around the.
I'm rich and I have my own ship.
so Gertie kind of left the bar without telling anybody, without paying the drinks, without giving Kale any sort of warning. Kind of stops about 5 feet from this amazing copper automaton, and you can see she's like, her eyes are really, really wide, and she like, if you see it, her eyes actually start to water up. Like you can see, like, you know, when you're looking at somebody and like there's the water, it's just about to spill over, but it's not quite there. She's just kind of looking and keeps staring at this automaton, just with her hand over her mouth.
Cole, you now see a gnome and a taller figure step out of what seemed like a pub across the street from where this thing was kneeling next to Lightning, and
Okay.
they just stand there.
So, sensing this is a good opportunity, Cole's going to use that like poncho hoodie thing that he had before. Throw that over himself, put the hood on. I don't know if the rest of the party knows that there is kobolds in the city, but they are like a third-class citizen. They're used for manual labor. They're used for digging out the sewers. They don't have full rights. So there is kobolds around, but you don't see them that often, and they're usually almost they're indentured servants, pretty much, right, Adam?
Yeah, essentially just like that. Yeah.
Quote unquote. So he's going to kind of go over and do his little. He's going to wait for the right opportunity then to kind of break into this. Once the robot gets distracted, he's waiting now to make his move. Because they're just staring at each other, right?
I'm staring at her. I don't know what Juice is doing.
What is Juice doing?
Just kind of slowly notices this other being in her point of view, and she slowly turns, and her hand kind of goes from Lightning's head to a wave. Hello, how may I help you?
It talks.
Oh my God. And she goes over and she kind of grasps your hand, brings it up to her face, and is looking as, oh my gosh, everything works perfectly. And she like hops up, grabs your head, kind of pushes you down so she can like start looking at all of the gears and how everything's working. Like, oh my gosh, how did you get here? What is, oh my gosh, you work perfectly.
Excuse me, ma'am, but I'm going to have to ask you to unhand me.
Oh,
Kale, personal space. We've talked about this before. Personal space.
it's Bessie. Oh my gosh, Bessie.
That's
I made her. Remember, this is how I got the money for the shop after I left the university, and I didn't know that I was giving. Didn't know I was giving her to something like stupid Libra, but she's here and she works and she's gorgeous. Oh my tiny angel.
at this point he doesn't know what to say, so he's just gonna stand back a little bit and like sort of not one being from the city and two sort of kind of seeing his newly made friend handling such a big creature that apparently doesn't want to be touched. He's sort of kind of gonna put his hands in the hilt of his sword, sort of like crossing his arms but grabbing the hilts of his sword, so sort of like anything happens he's just gonna, you know, pirate.
Sure. Cole, now is the probably the perfect opportunity.
I was just typing out. So Cole's going to grab out the cheese and the apples that he had, and start kind of first. He's going to start trying to like wave them, lightning, kind of lightning, wave them in his to get his attention. Is that working?
How loud is he saying this, by the way?
He's saying it loud enough where that lightning might hear it, but like not like he's not yelling it.
And how like as far as distance, where's lightning in
because you guys are against the wall. He would be kind of in the middle of the street, maybe like 15, 20 feet away.
Well, from you, you're a little bit probably about 20.
From lightning. Yeah.
Yeah, probably about 20 feet away from where all this is happening, right on the street. Lightning does, he does, and he kind of turns his head where he sees you holding the apple.
Apple cheese. Apple
And then
cheese.
the three of you see this donkey kind of just turn and on his own aspiration just starts walking towards Cole.
Do they see me?
Well,
I don't know. You make a stealth
Okay.
check. Everybody else make a perception check.
We're
I mean, I'm going like this, Adam. Apple cheese. Apple cheese. So I don't know.
With disadvantage.
I was about to say, I'm not going to make a check because I wouldn't even care about what's going on with a donkey.
Wow. Wow.
So Kale and Juiced, you follow the donkey and look up, and you see this kobold wearing a hood. No, you
Apple
can't. I guess you
cheese.
can't tell it's a kobold. You just see a small figure standing kind of in the shadows with the hood up, doing this, and then the
And he
donkey's walking.
freezes.
towards him.
I freeze when they look at me. I go, apple cheese.
I look over at the donkey. I look over at the hooded figure.
Oh my god, look, she's so inquisitive.
Not lost anymore?
Oh, thank you so much for finding it's my it's my master's donkey. He lost him, and so I'm so thankful that this is Cole trying to do an accent. I'm so thankful that you found him, and yes, my master, he was so angry with me for the donkey for being away, but now I have him. Thank you so much, Miss Copperman, Copper Woman. I don't know what to say. Yes, you guys are all very beautiful people. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Thank you.
At this point, when she says lost, I start like hitting Kale on the hand, like, she found the donkey for him. She has a sense of purpose. Poke, you're
You're muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. So as she's hitting Kale on the hand, he's looking at the donkey walk away, and this kobold apparently yelling at us, thanking us from 20 feet away. And he's just sort of like, I don't know if I really like being in the city this much.
This is amazing.
All right, now I need everybody, please, to make a perception check.
Okay.
See what you perceive in this bitch.
Perceive, what are we perceiving?
Hey!
Better than
not a
zero.
zero.
I got a 7 or 9.
Cole. No, not Cole. Kale. Sorry, I'm going to mess that up a lot.
Cole and Kale, good for you.
Yeah.
You're
Kale, you're just kind of looking down, not really knowing what's going on. Something on the roof of the building across the street catches your eye.
A glint.
Just moonlight normally, but then you see what seems like a shadow move across the roof. You look up and you can see what looks like two individuals kind of trying to walk quietly on the roof. They don't not making any noise whatsoever, but then
What?
as you look up, you can see them kind of duck out behind the line of sight.
And what time of the day is it?
It's like 11 o'clock at night.
Okay. Okay, so they duck out. Were they moving away from us or coming this way, or?
They were moving kind of okay. So across the street, kind of on the roof of the building that you and Gertie were just in.
Uh-huh.
They were moving like sideways, more away from you, more towards Cole.
Okay.
But
all right.
they moved back so that they kind of broke the line of sight with the edge of the roof.
They went on the opposite side of this.
Right.
On the roof. Gotcha. All right. So is Cole visible to me still, or?
Mhm.
Okay. Would you say that being on the line of work that I do, I would become suspicious as to what's going on up there, and maybe sort of not paranoid, but sort of kind of or automatically go sort of like in an on guard type of thing?
It certainly looked a little suspicious. They were creeping.
Okay. So I sort of, not forcefully, but I kind of put my hand on Ger. I call her Ger, just you guys know. He's like, I don't mean to break up your little family reunion here, but we might not be alone in a bad way. And I sort of, I don't hurt her. I just kind of press enough to sort of break her out of the connection she currently has. And I kind
He
of like
knows how I am when I get into like weird science. Like,
kind of gotta break her out a little bit. Sometimes gotta show a little tough love. Love nonetheless, but a little, yeah.
I got you. Thank you. Wait, what? In a bad way, you say?
Cole, from where you are to your right, you hear a door open. And as you kind of turn, you just see this old individual, man, covered in just like dirty robes, looking beard hanging down to as far as it grows, and his bald on his head, white and just kind of stringy, dirty with crust on the side of his mouth. He looks over her. Good evening. And he turns and starts walking away. And as he does, you look, and now you can see two individuals stepping out from the shadows into the middle of the street, probably about 15 feet away from you.
Are they armed?
Yes. One is brandishing a what looks like a short sword, kind of like almost like a Roman type looking short sword in one hand, and the other individual has a large crossbow kind of just slung up on his shoulder.
And the short sword is out?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Cole's kind of the shoot first if there's a threat, ask questions later. I mean, what do they look like besides that? Do they look like they're not police, right?
They're not coppermen. The two that you see are wearing just gray pants with black suspenders from the color at night that you can see, but they each have a red sash tied around their right arm.
Would I know what that means?
You can make an intelligence check if you'd like.
And they're humanoids, right?
Yes, they're both human.
So I have advantage with for intelligence checks against humanoids. For my favorite enemy.
Sure you do.
Oh, shoot.
Nice.
I am a hunter of men and goblins.
You do recognize this orange or this red sash.
Yeah.
It's you didn't really notice it at the time just because of how crazy the commotion was, but the man who was wearing the mechanical suit that you had fought just earlier that day, I think, was wearing a red sash.
Oh shit! So this is like peeps who work for the Faceless Man.
You might draw that conclusion.
Cole is going to. This is going to be kind of showy because that's how he rolls. But he's going to with one hand pull off the poncho and kind of because he's kind of like this, right? Like he's kind of facing this way, and they're like off to the side a little bit.
Right.
So he's kind of throw the poncho off with this hand, and as it's in the air fluttering down, he's going to dramatically come over like this with his duster flying open, and grab both of his pistols. Now he's getting the pistols, and by the way, now his pistols, the right one has on the side has etched blah, and the other pistol has on the side etched chaos. He's gonna say, it's time for the law and the chaos, and he's gonna fucking shoot at these people. He knows what their deal is. He's not gonna give them a chance to even.
They're over there looking suspicious as fuck. Yes.
He knows what the red armband is.
Go ahead and make an attack.
I guess it would be kind of be I guess it would be he's gonna shoot at them, and he's going to try to shoot the weapons.
Can you guys see anything?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, I'm this close to them. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And how close am I to the other one?
I did it all right, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, as he brings them out, advantage. Let's see. So the one Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna shoot at the closest one first
Okay.
with law. Oh, that's the wrong
I
thing.
am going to mark them.
A's advantage.
17 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage, please.
And which one is that? Is that the one with the crossbow or the dagger?
That's the one with the dagger. Sorry, the token doesn't really match up.
Okay.
I just had to make them.
He's going to
So
go.
this is the one with the number 1 has the dagger. Number 2 has the crossbow.
He's gonna move that way, and he's gonna fire the other gun at the guy with the crossbow,
Okay.
which is chaos. Oh shit!
Oh my.
Chaos.
Oh, and sorry. It's +2 damage to both of them too, Adam, because they're favorite enemies.
Okay.
And then with that second attack, so I did 12 damage to that guy. This one. I'm going to also use my my new spangled menacing. So it does actually 11. It does 13 damage, and he has to make a whiz saving throw.
How does it do 13?
Because I add the damage, the D8.
I understand. And he has to make a wisdom saving throw, you said.
Yes.
Of 13.
So he is also feared till the end of my next turn.
Holy
All right.
poop.
And I go, "You varmints, get out of here!" And then as I moved, I had moved 5 feet. So yeah, so I didn't mark it, but yeah, it's the 2+ damage for the favorite enemies on each one. And then I'm gonna move 25 feet this way.
All right. Now, if I could please have everybody click on your token, open your character sheet, and then click the initiative button.
Love this.
No, I selected the token. I did. I promise.
That's weird.
What?
So my first roll had 13.17, but I guess I hadn't clicked on my token yet. So
Oh, that's why.
that's all right. I'll take the eight.
You can just change it in your the
No, you
box.
can change it back.
Yeah,
Got it.
you just click on it.
How on earth did I get
don't know if you-
3.13? Can I just round that up to 2 initiative, please?
Oh, that's
Ridiculous.
that's the Dex tiebreaker.
Oh,
So basically, if somebody else rolled a 3, you would see who was higher.
gotcha.
But Abby, if you just click on the numbers right there, you can change it back to your first roll.
At this point,
I don't know.
what does it do? Oh, yeah, 18.13. Yes, thank you. Okay. Oh,
Thank you all.
you're welcome.
Okay. So, Gertie, you're still kind of in this dumbfounded state, this shock of what you are pretty sure you're seeing right in front of you. And suddenly, from about 20 feet away, you hear this, and you look over and see this flash of light as this small individual is pointing his arm out with a pistol at the end of it, aiming at 2 individuals. Another, and then you see both of the figures now at the end of the road, kind of, and the second one that he hits, you can hear him kind of yell out, ah, oh. They look back and they look pretty angry. What do you want to do?
I look, and this is Cole who has angered them, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
When I living in the city, would I recognize the red band at all?
I'll give you an intelligence check.
Okay. I'm really good at intelligence checks. It's the one thing I'm good at, guys.
And here comes the 4.
I know. As soon as I say that, it's going to be like, 16.
All right. Well, that was with advantage, right? What do you
With
have
advantage,
your
it'd be 24.
I'm gonna fix your character because
Oh, it should be in normal.
That's normal. Yeah. Okay.
That's my bad.
Okay. 16.
Mhm.
Yeah. the Faceless Man, a crime organization who mostly keeps to the lower ward and mostly keeps away from anything you've been involved in. You have heard of them. More of petty things, though. Pickpocketing, a few little bit of a drug trade kind of going on.
Yeah.
And you only know that because they're buying up apothecary supplies that you're interested in.
Yeah.
So the red band signifies that, and you know that they're a rather violent group of people. They don't really care much for the law and order or respect for other people.
Okay. So as I see this, I kind of hiss over to Colt. Why would you pick a fight with them of all people? Really? Really?
They're big,
And-
they're huge son of a bitch assholes, and they're here for combat. So grab your guns or get the head out, because it's fighting time.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to oh no, I can use that as a bonus action. I'm going to because I do my action first. I'm going to pull out my light crossbow and I'm going to aim at the one I've got a clear shot of, which would be, I guess, the one who's not feared. Yeah, that one. That one, yeah. So I'm gonna try to hit him with my tiny crossbow. Like, I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm not gonna. Does a 7 hit?
Unfortunately, no, a 7 doesn't hit.
Oh,
So just
darn
in
it.
your frustration and still jittery angst from this individual next to you that you're pretty sure it is who you think it is, you lift up your crossbow with hesitation, shoot, and it just kind of goes and lands like 10 feet in front of him. You don't know what you did wrong.
Oh, rat bastards. And at that, I'm going to use a bonus action and grab Hale's sword that I know he always kind of has with him, and I'm going to cast Magic Weapon. So this is concentration up to 1 hour. I touch a non-magical weapon until the spell ends, which is in an hour. That weapon becomes a magic weapon with a +1 bonus to attack rolls and damage rolls.
Awesome.
So there you go, Kale.
I
You're
love
gonna
my little
protect
gnome.
You're going to protect me.
So I'm guessing picking up. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
Oh,
all
okay.
I got.
All right. So after that happens, Kale, you look down, you see the gnome touch your blade, and this warmth kind of comes to it. Familiar. I'm sure she's done this for you before in the past. And hey, don't take it there.
I didn't say
I saw your face. I saw your face.
I didn't say
In
it.
the most
giggling.
non-sexual way possible.
It's the giggles.
As this happens, though, Kale, you look up and you can see now behind you on the roof of the building, those two individuals that you saw before. You hear some creaking and some dust and pebbles come flying off the top of the roof. The shingles are all wood shake shingles. They're not very, well done. And you see now an individual stepping closer. He sees what's happening here. He looks around. He turns. He aims. Doesn't look like a crossbow in his hand. It does, in fact, look like a musket. And he aims down kind of just at the crowd of people standing there on the corners. So we're going to...
Oh, lightning's huge.
All right. Lightning is big. I don't know why.
Lightning's
'cause
probably
he's-
bigger than 30.
He was saved on the other screen and there wasn't...
Jews should actually probably be bigger than Kale as well.
Nah, she's the same size.
Oh, is she? Oh, I
Medium.
thought she was large. Okay, cool.
No, it's just medium. He aims down at the crowd. You can't quite tell where his muzzle is firing, but you do hear a poof, and that is going to be... I rolled the wrong thing.
Okay,
No.
party kill.
Does it hit?
And we're all dead.
No, okay.
No.
Sorry about that. 19. Kale, does that hit?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so Gertie, you hear this bang, you look up and you see where it comes from. Then you look over and you see Kale now has a piece of his shoulder, like the leather arm on his shoulder has this big gouge in it, and that's a D12, I believe.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh.
awesome.
No, I got you. I have the Heelys.
9 points of piercing damage to you, my friend. I'm sorry. And as the individual fires, he takes a few steps back and is currently completely out of sight as he goes over the hip of the roof onto the other side.
And
So
I
he's
saw where
not-
this.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so I saw where this shot came from, kind of, right?
Yeah, you saw where it came from over in this direction. But the individual that shot took a couple steps backwards up the roof and then down the other side a little bit.
Oh no, you don't. Okay.
Did you say that I noticed him like I as he was coming creeping and whatnot? You said that Kale noticed that, but wasn't fast
Yeah,
enough,
Kale.
or
Was it what?
and he was not fast enough to react. Essentially, he got shot.
Well, it was kind of part of his action to move back behind the cover. So no, you
Gotcha.
wouldn't have been able to.
So
It's your turn now.
yeah. So as soon as he sees a guy, he feels the shot. Like, oh. He kind of looks at Gertie, and he says, "One for the team." He will, with a burst of speed, because rogues can do that as a bonus action, dash in this direction.
Okay.
40. How high would you say this place is? This roof?
Probably about 20 feet tall. It's 2 stories. All of these buildings are 2 stories.
Okay.
And they're all
So-
lined up right on top of each other with just very thin alleys between them.
Is there like windows and places to sort of like climb and whatnot, or?
Yeah, there's plenty of windows and window sills. The windows are all kind of recessed in between the stone and timber.
So then my next question is, when you're climbing, are you going to sort of like for a character that has climbing speed naturally as a race, would I have to roll like acrobatics or something like that to sort of kind of like parkour my way up there?
I don't know. I don't want to get yelled at. Eric, what should I tell him?
I thought you were the DM.
I never yelled.
No. I was just okay. One more.
I got it. Gotcha.
Does a thing with climbing speed? Does it have to? I mean, I don't. I feel like
Okay.
having a climbing speed negates the reason to do that, right?
Well, no. So basically, having climbing speed means you have because usually it's half movement to get up things.
Right.
It may make some easier, but like really difficult surfaces would still require. That's what like spider climb is for. If it's like super difficult, spider
That's what
climb
I'm
makes it easy. But like you give it some leeway, I guess. But it doesn't
Yeah,
cost them
well-
half movement, basically.
All right, no half movement. So yeah, there's plenty of window sills, door frames, ledges, divots in the stone and the wood. Someone who's been climbing around for a lot of their life would definitely be able to make their way most of the way up.
Okay. So I will be okay. So that's 40 and 20 feet up. I will make it just to the edge of here. If I do like a straight dash, as an action, so if he's hidden, sort of like that little spider commercial, and he's hidden, he can't see me. I'm hidden. I can't see him. Therefore, he can't see me. Right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duck and go low on the roof. I'm just gonna kind of like crouch all the way down as an action.
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Yeah. So let me get him up there first. All right. I know this is kind of like sucky to ask, but given that he can't see me or knows there or whatnot, would I have maybe advantage on hiding or no?
Well, probably not, because this is more or less, are you making a bunch of noise on this shitty roof? Santa Claus style.
No, I'm not actually walking. As soon as I'm on the edge, I'll sort of like pull myself up and then just kind of
Okay.
lay down.
Okay, then yeah,
So it's
advantage. Go
kinda-
ahead.
If you're just staying right there and you're not walking around.
Yeah, I can't move any farther than that mechanically. So, all right, cool.
All right.
Damn.
Boom. You lay down and you just melt into the floor. There's nothing. No one can see you. Perfectly in the shadows.
Yeah, we very quiet. That's my action for
All right. The crossbowed individual who is feared kind of doesn't really know what to do. He's looking down. He sees that he's bleeding from being shot. He just looks up and he sees this small creature with a tail sticking out from its duster with 2 pistols in its hand. He doesn't quite know what to do. He just kind of almost steps back a little bit and he fires blindly. +5. Yeah.
I gotta say, guys, I'm having a blast already. Just so y'all know, my face might not, look it, but I'm loving it.
My face will make up for the enthusiasm.
There you go. I really get into character, rogues,
Right. So do 2 10s hit lightning?
He's shooting twice at lightning?
No, it's a disadvantage.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I don't know what his AC is.
His AC is 10.
So it would hit lightning, unfortunately.
Ouch.
Yes, it would.
Oh no!
He was a good donkey.
You guys, I got healing. I'll be able to heal him, hopefully.
Lightning takes 5 points of piercing damage as the bolt flies randomly in your direction. I rolled a d4 for the people that were standing there, just so Eric's not like sending me hate mail already. And lightning was the one that it landed on. I'm sorry. And he takes 5 points of piercing damage as the bolt from his crossbow flies through the air and just sticks him right in his shoulder a little bit. It doesn't go in too far. He's got a lot of muscle there, but you can see the blood instantly start to go, and he kind of rears up a little bit. Actually, and because of that, we don't have an initiative order for lightning, should we? Or because he's not technically a companion.
I'm not riding him right now, so he's not.
Okay.
I mean, there is like rules for pets, but he basically, we probably should.
He's a donkey.
Run away at this point. So
He would doesn't he have like kick or hoof or charge or something?
he's not
like
going to attack. He's not trained yet, but I will roll for him.
Self-defense.
Okay, so he would actually go right next
after him.
anyway. So this is perfect.
He would run away basically at this point.
All right.
Yeah.
So he fires his thing.
Yeah.
Lightning dashes as far away as he can.
Well, first he would go "Whoa!" and fart at the same time because he's very flatulent. And it's like a horrible. I mean, he eats everything. So he's running away. As far as his speed will go, he would probably dash. He has 40 feet of movement, so 80 feet.
Wow, 80 feet. That's far. Okay. You know me. I never build the maps big enough for you guys to run around.
He's not going to run completely away because he knows I'm here, but yeah.
He starts running, and the bolt in his shoulder is just kind of dangling with every step that he takes. And Cole, it's now your turn.
Oh, so I was going to attack the other guy, but now Cole, you dirty scoundrel son of a bitch! And he's going to, even though I don't have advantage on this guy, he's fucking pissed. So you're a bootlicker varmint of the lowest order. And he's going to move forward 10 feet and fire twice with just normally. First with law.
17 hits.
And then with chaos.
God bless you.
And you know what? He's not dead, right? Still?
That's +2 to each damage for favored
I
enemy.
added it in too now. So you see it says the chaos favored. I added it in, so it's just.
I do see that. Yes.
Yeah,
So that's 6 and 3, just straight.
9 damage. Yeah.
9 total. Okay. Yeah, he's still up.
I'm going to use my medicine again on that last attack. So an extra 5 damage.
Okay.
Using all my dice, but that guy needs to die.
6.
Oh shit! I have an
All right.
auto crit too. I gotta remember.
So you have an auto crit.
Yes. Remember?
Oh, is that
Somebody-
from when
somebody
you
sent me an
completely
auto crit?
destroyed my hopes and dreams in the battle arena?
No, it's from another time.
Oh, it's from
Somebody-
another time
somebody-
you destroyed somebody else's hopes and
Uh,
dreams. No
yeah,
problem.
sure.
Eric's just like, I destroy hopes and dreams a lot.
Just what I
Yes,
do.
Breakfast.
Yeah,
No, I'm
actually for
teasing.
brunch, but okay. So he has to make another wisdom save.
He's already feared.
Oh, it ends at the end of my turn, so now he has to make
Oh.
another one for
And he does succeed on that one. So he's not feared, but he's looking pretty rough
Yeah, he just-
as far as the 2 bullet holes right in the chest. This is like anger and just malice coming from this small kobold creature with these pistols. He stands up straight, and as he fires, he plants his feet, and he does it with accuracy and precision. He doesn't look like just a random lizard man with guns. He seems almost a little impressive as he stands there and the smoke's trailing from the tips of his pistols. You run over towards the edge of the building there?
yeah, and I figured because it's like kind of from the guy on the roof, like I'm under a roof, right? So I have some cover or something.
I'd say there's like a little bit of like
Overhang.
12 inches that
Okay.
would hang over.
And then you got the 5 damage too from anything, right?
I'm sorry, a third meter for those of us that use.
Canada. You got that extra 5 damage, right?
Yeah, I did. I
Okay,
did. I
okay,
promise.
cool. I just wanted to make, okay.
That
That guy's tough, man.
was a good move. Just, you're looking around. What are you thinking?
Well, first of all, she all of a sudden sees Cole Diamondback Hollister, who she knows is wanted by the Coppermen. And she goes, Cole Diamondback Hollister! And she seems kind of a little bit confused about that. And then she sees the shot go from the rooftop, and then she sees the shot go to lightning, and she's just very overwhelmed at this point. And what does she know about these armbanded men?
Right. So as you can see, these people with the armbands, you definitely recognize the band on the arm is a symbol of belonging to a gang or some sort of criminal club. The red specifically is a rather new one that you've been seeing recently, and from all the briefings that you've been told, something about a faceless man. But as far as any specifics, you don't really know. You just know that the band on their arms is a signal that they belong to some sort of unlawful organization.
Unlawful.
And then, fighting in the middle of the streets is no good. God, I got to get better with the music. Got to get my battle sounds up.
This was very good, though. I felt very, held up and...
Ooh, good.
Ooh, this is more scary. I don't like this. Ooh.
Well, lightning just got crossbowed, okay? I think
Gertie-
for cheery music.
Gertie can't fight at all. She can heal stuff, and she can throw a wrench around and sometimes do a crossbow, but no.
So, so Just is going to walk up, and she's going to brandish her really fancy-looking clockwork halberd, and she's going to say, "Unlawful," and she's just going to slam.
Awesome.
All right.
I hope you don't roll a 0.
Look at my sweet baby angel.
Ooh, 18. That definitely hits.
Take 15 damage.
15 damage. Holy crap. So you come up and you just kind of sling forward, bring your halberd up, and just slam it down. You see this guy's weight just crumble under his knees, and he slams onto the ground. This thing kind of stuck into his shoulder a little bit, and he's trying his hardest to get it out. And it's like, oh! Go ahead and just make a strength check for me, please.
All right.
And that was number 1. Just
Yes.
15 damage. Jesus Christ.
That's amazing.
12. Okay. He's pushing up as hard as he absolutely can, but you're just kind of holding it there, holding him down on the ground. His next turn's not going to be very good for him. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
No.
Okay. Awesome. So now, as all this is kind of going on, Kale, you see from kind of behind you a little bit another individuals laying on the roof, very similar to how you are, and he himself has a very long rifle in his hands, and he's kind of looking down, aiming. It seems like he was following the kobold, but now that the kobold is kind of more under him, underneath this little thing, he turns towards this giant automaton Copperman who just bashed his friend right in the middle of the street hard. So he lifts up the rifle and he fires at you. Just.
Okay.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
18. That just hits. Pew, pew.
Oh. 1d12. Yeah, roll 1d 122.
Yeah.
Hey, so that's 8 points of piercing damage from you. As the bullet hits, you guys all hear kind of go flying off, denting a little bit in her back, but the bullet just kind of seems to ricochet and it falls limp in the street.
Oh. You hear a little shriek from Gary, like, oh!
With that, he is going to stand up, and he's going to use his using half his movement, and he's going to use the rest of his movement to get over to this side of the roof, and he is going to. Kale, he does not notice you. He runs over there, and he's just kind of still focusing his eyesight on what's going on in the street. Doesn't even notice you laying there on the roof right next to him.
He's looking straight at me.
You're being very quiet.
I'm hunting wabbits.
That'll be his turn. He has a short sword in his hand, again, juiced, but he's trying really hard to get this blade out of his side. And then he takes his arm and he just shoves it up. Due to the pain and the current circumstances, he's going to make his attack a disadvantage. So I'm going to roll this twice.
I am 10 feet away from him.
Oh, shit. That's right. So that's like, he can't even make that attack. He missed both times anyways. So he reaches up and his blade just swipes at nothing. Like he gets about maybe 6 inches away from you. Maybe about 20 centimeters or something like that. And I'm gonna be fucking up the conversion all the time. He gets close to you, but you just kind of look down on it and holding very steadfast your blade that's currently stuck in his shoulder. He can't do anything right now. He is stuck. That'll be his turn. Gertie.
Yes. Is it my turn?
Your turn, darling.
Okay. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Okay, so basically Gertie is right here. She just tried to do the crossbow, and then everything has been happening so quickly. There's been a guy, and Kill went on the roof, and then something hit this. There's been a lot of things that have been going on, but I do know that there's still these guys over here. So she's going to use her movement to... No, that's not what I mean. She's going to use her movement to get a little bit closer, maybe a little bit behind just here. And she is going to... Let's see. Are they both feared at this point, or is only one feared?
Actually, neither of them are feared currently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he made his save.
Yeah, it's okay.
The guy who's labeled number 2, he has the big crossbow in his hands, and he is looking very bloody. He is looking hurt. And the guy number 1 currently has the halberd stuck in his shoulder. He's kind of on his knees, trying his hardest to stand back up, not being able to hit her. And there you are.
Okay. So I am, you see Gertie, she has apron on and a bunch of weird like canisters and liquids and potions kind of in her apron. She pulls one out. She's going to can you make a dex save of 13?
I'm going to try. I can't promise anything. I can.
Oh, never mind. She goes and she tries to throw acid at this guy because she doesn't know what else to do. What's going on? I don't know. Do you know? So she's like, okay, I've got this acid. He looks pretty bloody. Throws it at him and misses.
He looks at it and he sees it coming through the air, takes the butt of his crossbow and kind of bashes it. It explodes through the air, but it goes through a different way. None of it really seems to get on him. And he just looks at you and gives this, "Oh, you fucked up."
This is why I don't fight. This is why. And at this point, once he looked, just I can't contact Gertie's just like, it wasn't me. That's. See, how much movement do I have left? We're good. That's it. I'm behind juiced.
All right. It is now this individual's turn, who kind of comes up here to the top of the roof so that he can see down this road pretty well. He has a pretty good view of what's going on, considering the type of weapon he's brandishing. I know Kale is currently laying right there, so I'm gonna make a thing. Nope, doesn't notice you. You're just very perfectly hidden in some sort of shadow where there is no light anywhere. So he kind of just looks over you towards what's happening. He doesn't see the acid being thrown. Let's see. Cole, go ahead and make a stealth check. I just want to see.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. He looks down and just through all the dark night and the moon, the shadows cast everywhere, he doesn't actually seem to see you. So he looks down. He sees Just still currently holding that guy down. So he's going to go ahead and take a shot at her. $18.
Yep, that'll hit.
18 will hit. And unfortunately for you, that individual is of the roguish nature.
Oh boy.
Oh, wait, you have to be 5 feet with an ally?
Yes. Yes.
Ah, way to fuck up my life. All right.
Halberd,
So-
man.
Still hits you. Whatever. Ooh, 11 points of piercing damage as this one comes and it hits right the back of your neck. Gertie, you look up and you see a piece of metal break that would normally hold her head stable and allow her to turn. And now, just unfortunately, your head is a little more wobbly. One of your stabilizers on your neck has kind of just been blasted off, causing whatever wires and kind of joints are holding your head up to sort of let loose a little bit. It's not very comfortable. There we go. Okay. And then he will again move backwards down and try and stay out of sight of everybody. Kale, you're up.
So 2 guys here. He's gonna sort of like tactically in his mind see this one. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay, I am.
Yeah. You're good.
This guy here. This one has full range to him, but if he goes for this guy, he figures, well, this guy can get me. So I have this line in here that if I go for this guy can't really hit me if I'm on this side. That's his train of thought. He's gonna burst in speed and make it over here right next to this guy, probably behind him. As he does, so I have 2 light weapons. Would I have to use a bonus action to take out the second one?
No.
Okay. So as I'm getting up, I'm sort of kind of like running through, and if you ever think of, yes, I'm going there, Naruto, he's just kind of running with his hands behind him to cut the wind force and come up here, right kind of behind this guy, sort of like surprise mode, motherfucker. And he's gonna cut with R cut and L cut. So
remember, one of your one has +1 to attack and damage.
Yep. Oh, that's right. So the first, I'll just for the sake of continuity, the first attack, right H cut last is always the one that's gonna be.
Sure. Okay.
So
That one unfortunately does miss. He kind of sees you. He brings up his rifle and he kind of parries your first attack out of the way. But as he does, he leaves his side wide open, and you come back with a slash, and you get him. And you hear him yell, "Oh!" He is wearing some sort of thick coat, and you can tell your blade cuts through the coat, barely scratching his skin. Unfortunately, you really wouldn't get. Yes, you would get sneak attack. Yes, you would.
yes,
Okay,
I would.
because you were none of them assholes saw you. So that's
Well,
13.
so the
Swashbuckler.
swashbuckler rogue gets sneak attack just for attacking a lone creature.
All right.
Hold on, I'll put it up for you.
I don't need proof. I trust you. Eric would have corrected everybody if it was wrong.
Why are they picking on me?
I'm not. I'm just. I mean, you can't tell me I'm lying right now.
Well,
so
I'll put it up for the sake of those that don't know.
Sure,
that ability.
sure.
Just it's still pretty.
if
new.
you have any questions about what's going on, join the Discord and you can check it out in the New London chat.
Do it.
See what's going on there. So that's 13 damage. That was a good hit. What's all this? What's going on?
That's just two skills of the rogue. Just
You're
each one
supposed to
over
put
here.
it
One up.
Okay. Very good. Well, did you want to do anything else? That was your action and bonus action.
No, yeah. So that was my bonus action in action. So at this point, I can actually, is this right here? Is that more up?
Yeah, it's
How
like
far?
maybe a 2-foot raise to the next roof.
Oh, that's it, just 2 feet. So what
Mhm.
about this one?
That one's about another 2-foot raise.
Okay, so
They're just kind of staggered up and down in a big line down this entire street.
all right, I'm actually gonna stay really close to this guy right here, sort of kind of cover myself from his friend, and that's where I end my turn.
All right, perfect.
Yay, look at my friend being sneaky and stuff.
Next up is the guy with the big crossbow.
Oh,
Gertie,
no.
that kind of made him mad. So what he does is he throws his crossbow to the ground.
But look how small I am. You wouldn't want to hit me.
He runs kind of around just up to right next to you. He pulls out what looks like a baton of some sort,
Boo.
and he goes ahead and makes an attack. That's only 7 to hit.
Oh, yeah, that misses.
Wait,
Oh,
1d20 plus 4. Yeah, that's right. Okay, all good. Sorry. 7. Yeah. So he just swings down at you, and through either dexterity or fear, flinch out of the way, and he does not connect with that.
I kind of look up at him like, what? Gonna attack me?
As a bonus action, he is going to disengage and kind
Yeah,
of
you better.
come down here behind Just with not so good intentions. Cole.
Okay, seeing this guy is still up, he's still very angry at this guy. He's going to run. He gets his revolvers out in front of him, and he's like running forward. And while he's running forward, he's yelling, "Die, you smoothie bastard!" Smoothie is what he calls like non-scaled people when he's angry at them. Eat dirt. And yeah, he has advantage because he's next to Juice now.
Yes.
And I'm going to bring the law and the chaos on him. Oh,
That does not hit.
I don't care. I'm using this because I hate this guy. That's 14 hits. Goddamn.
Say your
A
prayers.
14 does hit.
Oh my God, yes.
Ah,
Say your prayers.
For
That's
6
6.
piercing damage.
And then,
And that was to which guy? The one next to Juiced?
yeah, the crossbowman.
Okay.
Now this damage.
That definitely hits.
Another 4. This guy is tough as balls.
10. All right. So Cole, as you kind of run out, scream at this man, and you fire your 2 shots. One of it kind of skims his neck, and you can see a little bit of blood goes squirts out. The second one though hits him square above the nose, and his head just flies back, and his feet leave the ground, and he just slams backwards, dead.
Jeez. He gives a little like tip of his hat to Juice, blows on the revolver, and
Juice, you just saw a wanted criminal murder somebody in the street.
tactically runs. Can I go any deeper into this, or is that as deep as it goes on this little edge right here? For the roof?
That's like a closed door and wall to a home.
Okay, so it's all. This is as deep as I can go.
Yeah,
under
that
the
would
roof.
be it.
So he's gonna kind of go back here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Juste. Juste.
Yes. Yes.
Is there T? Do you say the
Yes,
T
there's
on
a
the end?
T, yes.
Okay, juste. I got you.
Yes. Okay. So she just sees this, wanted criminal kill a guy right next to her. She keeps that in her mind. She's like,
He attacked your friend Gertie.
I don't know, Gertie.
They're attacking you.
What? I'm having to talk after this.
But she turns back towards this man that she has like at his knees, and she kind of tilts her head, partly because of the piece that went missing, but it's like to like a dangerous degree now. And she just raises her halberd and goes again.
Okay. So I'm going to say he's technically prone, and you were making a melee attack, so that would have advantage.
Awesome. So,
Yeah. Wow.
18 damage.
Damn. All right. How gory do you want that to be?
Just slice him in half, man.
All right. So with the force, you just bring it down, and he's kind of on his knees, almost like this in fear. And the blade comes straight down. And as you follow through, it slams into the stone underneath him, creating like some sparks and chunks go flying up. And Gertie, from what you can see, kind of between Just and what's happening, you see the man kind of stay there. But the top half of him starts sliding down while the bottom half kind of just falls forward. He hits the ground with this disgusting and laying there.
And all just says is guilty.
Does Cole see this, by the way?
This is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh God! Holy shit! Fuck.
Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Nope, that's it.
All right. It is now this guy's turn who sees this, and he just kind of yells out from the roof. He's like, "You're all marked. Every single one of you is going to get what's coming to you." And he raises up and he just quickly fires at you, Just.
Oh,
Okay.
please.
You are tearing these fuckers apart, and they want you down.
Ooh.
14 does not hit you.
No.
So it kind of lands, and you hear it. You don't really see it hit the dead body next to you that Cole had destroyed, and you kind of hear it, and a little bit of blood squirts up from his back as he's laying belly down on the floor. He grabs his rifle up, and he turns onto this roof, and he starts making his way this way. Kale, you can kind of hear it and feel someone running on the other side of this roof. And then it would have been his turn. He's dead. Gertie.
All right. I'm seeing that Juice is hurting, and both of these guys are dead, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotta come up to her, and I'm gonna cast.
You got juiced.
Got
Sorry.
That's what Cole will say.
So would
Did you drink your juice this morning?
Would
Sorry.
it cure wounds, or would a mending work?
Cure wounds
No,
does not
nothing.
work.
What?
Cure wounds does not work on me.
Cure wounds does not work. False life? Is that just for self though?
on
I
it,
know I've got stuff. Let's see. I've also got spare the dying.
That's
You're
a
not at
stable
0
item.
hit points.
You have mending?
I do have mending.
I
Would that work?
think that might give some healing.
Let's
I
see.
did.
You have to look at the construct rules.
Yeah,
I
you'd have
did
to
th-
look at that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Pretty
I
sure it
did-
does do some healing, but
The casting time is 1 minute for mending.
Okay. I could either do that, or I have different tools that I could actually like repair her with. If you wanted me to roll for my blah 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 for the, I've got.
Well, considering your action in combat is technically 6 seconds, I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know
probably
how
gonna
much you'd be able to do.
stretch. Okay. Then let's see, and I see this guy who's on the roof, kind of
Hmm.
running and being like, okay, I'm going to use prestidigitation.
Okay, and do what?
I am going to make it so that for him, it feels and looks like the roof is kind of shaking. And all of a sudden, you see Gertie kind of hold out, and this really bright light like erupts from her hand. So it basically looks really, really threatening and really scary when it's not really going to do anything. But I
Yeah.
want to scare him enough to maybe trip him up.
What's your spell save DC?
It is. It's a thing that I should know.
it's 13, I
13.
think.
Yeah.
13. So he does make the spell save. Spell save. He kind of sees it, and you see him flinch back a little bit, and his foot kind of slips, and he almost starts tumbling off. But he does manage to get his footing, and he continues moving forward, moving through the illusion.
Mhm.
Good try, though. That was pretty
Yeah.
creative.
That's it.
Anything else you wanted to do?
That's it.
Okay. Kale, you're kind of locked up here in some sort of anime fight scene where it's just like slash, slash, whoosh, phew. Everybody's jumping between building and building. You guys are flying 50 feet in the air, landing down. None of that's really happening. But he's going to go ahead and with his rifle, he's going to try and make an attack at you with the butt of it. And that will be, it's a strength, so that's actually more. 19 hit.
Yeah. Man, this guy.
6
Ouch.
points of bludgeoning damage as he kind of comes up and he kind of hits you right in the chin, and your head goes up, makes your eyes dizzy a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he is going to just kind of stand there with this kind of look of victory in his face and get ready for whatever you got coming. It's your turn now.
So, being 9 points of damage away from pure death, he's gonna go for everything. He's just gonna like, that's how we're doing it. So he just sort of kind of like ducks down a bit and does like a double slash type of
Okay.
situation. So,
They both hit.
all right,
That's 11 points, huh? That's 20.
that'll be 18 points of damage.
Oh.
Also, remember you got that +1. Sure.
So yes,
Yeah,
that'll
so
be
8 plus 4 is 12 plus 7 is 19.
19 points.
Oh, I forgot to remind you until now. I'm sorry.
13,
It's all good.
32. All right. So as you get down and you do this double slice with your head down, you look up and you kind of see him standing there. Blood starts coming out of his mouth and starts dripping down as you see him. His eyes start to kind of close and roll back into his head as he falls forward now at 0 hit points and lands on the roof. Slides a little bit, but stays there. He doesn't fall off the roof.
Okay. So I know I heard the other guy running. Based on the foot, would I be able to make a sort of a guesstimate of where he's heading?
Sure. In the direction he's heading, at least.
Yeah.
Heading this
All right.
way.
Okay. So I don't really move, but I still got this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stay on this side And I'm going to sort of kind of sneak my way up here, and see if I can intercept them.
Okay, go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Okay. Stealth. Where's my stealth?
Did I go deaf
Oh,
again?
He made it.
Oh,
Would you rule the same given that he's on the other side, on advantage or regular roll?
no, because now everybody kind of knows where everybody is. This would just be a
Okay.
straight stealth
All
roll.
right, cool.
Oh, I thought I had that on. Damn it.
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, you're not detected by anybody, anywhere, ever.
He's like, you are unseen. All right, fair.
Are you moving that 30 feet then?
Yeah. Is that okay? Or-
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, Cole. Now, from where
Alright.
you are, you can absolutely see this individual running on the edge of this roof, getting scared by Gertie's flash of light, but he's still running. And you know that the other people just had annihilated. What do you want to do?
Does he see me? Is he aware of that where I am?
He know that you ran back towards the side of the building, but wasn't able to see you where you were.
Okay.
So at the moment, he probably wouldn't know where you are exactly.
So I'm just gonna shoot him. Do I have an advantage on the first shot, or if he doesn't know where I am, or
Sure.
okay?
21 will hit. Okay, 13 would too. So 7.
Yep. And then I want to. I know I had a disadvantage now, but I want to do a call shot on his leg.
Sure.
So it's normal than disadvantage, right? I don't have advantage anymore because I already shot him once.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still gonna try for it. Chaos favored. You're not getting away, pigskin. Oh shit. I'll use my last dice. Book it.
You gonna use your what?
My last Deadeye dice. Yes! Yes!
Wow. Yeah. 16 will hit. Now I gotta make a strength save.
I did the damage, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Damage 3.
Against 13.
That's the DC for this.
Yeah, it's my
What did I do?
you rolled disadvantage.
Oh. Well, we'll take the first one. 19. That will save. So your bullet comes and takes out a chunk of his thigh as he almost falls, and you guys hear, everybody hears him. Ah! And it echoes off the buildings around, but he keeps running forward, doing his best. Good attempt.
So the
Yes.
9 damage.
What am I going to do? I suppose at this point, where's this? Where's this food? All right. It's kind of far. Here. And I'm going to drop my halberd. And I'm going to get one of my javelins out. And I'm just gonna chuck it.
Okay. Is there... What's the range on that? You're 45 feet away.
Oh shit. Okay, it's gonna be at disadvantage then. Yeah, it's 30, 120.
Oh, bummer. Okay. Wait, it's what?
30, 120.
Oh, okay. Yeah. 120. You're good.
So I'll be at disadvantage?
Yeah.
Okay.
An 11 unfortunately will not hit. It flies through the air and it just sticks into the side of the house, creating some sort of pole now, just sort of sticking from the stone and wood structure. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Nope, I'm good.
All right, so now this individual, he is going to run 30 feet there, and he is going to leap off the building onto the street. I'm going to force him to do an acrobatics check.
Please die. Hilarious.
Ooh, not good. So he jumps off, and just due to the damage he's already taken, he doesn't really leap off with the weight adjusted properly. He lands, and he kind of just tumbles sideways. He's going to take D6 damage. 2 points of damage as he falls, hurting himself. All right. So, sorry, it is now Gertie's turn.
Oh, it's my turn. I'm a Gertie. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna move. Oh yeah, I'm gonna move. Let's see. And I'm not seeing Kale. I see just Juiced. I don't know what's going on. There's 2 dead bodies here, and I don't want to be by them. So I'm gonna move. But like right here, so I'm kind of still behind her. Actually, no, because I want to see who this fucker is right here. 25. No, 25 is all I can do anyway, so it's all good. I don't think I can really see. Oh yeah, I can. So I see that guy, and you know what? Just because it might work, you never know. You can take another shot with their crossbow.
Okay.
Oh, where'd you go? Character sheet. There you go. I need to. Does a 5 hit?
No, it doesn't. Sorry.
She tries so hard. It doesn't work. It's okay.
Technically, I guess he was prone, so that would have been a disadvantage. So
Yeah.
but you know what? I'm not even gonna talk about it right now.
It's okay.
So that was a miss. Unfortunately, who's this guy? Oh, he's dead. Kale, you were up on the roof still running, and then you kind of heard the and then the running stopped. You stopped hearing the running, and then all of a sudden you hear a little bit down on the road.
Okay. So I'm gonna pop here, sort of kind of creep my way up here using that beautiful green 27. I don't see him there, so would it be safe to assume that my character can surmise that he maybe fell or jumped or something and probably didn't go so well?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna creep over here to see where he is. There you are. So with both scimitars out, I'm just gonna do a heli up and just straight down and try and do a double slice on him from where I'm at.
Okay. I don't know if this should be just an attack roll. I'll say go ahead and make a acrobatics check with advantage.
Okie.
Parkour.
So Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Look at my picture.
I know.
Oh, perfect. I'm going to say that considering the falling damage and both blades striking him, how do you want that to go about? How do you want that to look?
As just the way I described this. So like he sort of kind of sees him and just think of like the Green Reaper, straight, like body straight, just two long blades coming down into like right into the clavicle space in between the clavicle and the neck. Right here, this little soft part, both blades just straight up. I see it's just like down. The guy drops and I'm just standing there, and I look up and I smile at Gertie, wink at her.
While he was plunging the swords down, Cole's yelling out, like, as he's in the air, "Oh, we need one alive!" Oh, shit. Okay.
He could have said something before.
Does it now?
Sorry.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
All right. So
From
I
your
just
yelling,
felt
I would have thought the opposite, but hey, but right
No, I know. He said it as you were going in, and he's like, "Oh, too late." Okay.
all right, like
yeah.
Yay.
I can feel it. So with the final enemy that you can see and has made him or herself aware, the street kind of goes quiet, and as you guys look up now, you see that there are several people stepping out and peering out of all of these different inns and pubs and homes surrounding this area, looking at what's going on. The four of you currently visible, 3 visible dead bodies in the road. That's where we'll take our little break.
right.
And I know it was a lot later than I thought, but that's okay. Battles happen. So I have 9:56 here. Let's be back in about 10 minutes if you can make it 10 minutes, and we'll continue on from here. Sound good?
Yep.
All right.
Right on.
All right, everybody. Welcome back. Thanks for hanging in there. We all needed our break. I know I did. And that was pretty exciting. So, picking up exactly where we left off, people, onlookers, citizens, the crowd is starting to form now as people are making their way onto the street from these pubs, from their homes. People making their way on the street trying to investigate what's going on. Let's see here.
Now, being from this part of town, would Gertie know a good amount of the people who are living around here and who are kind of looking around?
Well, you'd know a few people probably. Maybe in that are coming out of the pub that you and Kale were in.
Mhm.
But it's a pretty condensed, populated area. Probably wouldn't know everybody.
Yeah. As I kind of see people like looking out, I know some people who I know from the bar who are looking. And I kind of just shrug my shoulders and I'm like, those gangs, man, what are you gonna do? And kind of shrug it off like it's not a big deal, trying to like, oh yeah, it's not a big deal. This is nothing like unusual, and kind of start walking back towards my shop. And I'm looking back over my shoulder like, are you guys coming?
Gertie, not Gertie, just at this point is like still brandishing her blood-soaked halberd. And she looks around and unintentionally, like intimidatingly, she has her like halberd swinging and she says, Copperman duty, please do not fear.
Nobody's fearing right now. All of the bad people are gone. And again, seeing this, I'm like, oh, if you want to, I can mend some of the stuff up if you want to come with me. I've got a shop with tea. I notice, I look at the kobold. You could use some healing, maybe, it looks like.
No, I'm totally good, but my donkey, I'm running over to get Lightning.
Okay. Yeah, he sees you, and since all the commotion seems to have stopped, he's running towards you a little bit.
I was also going to say I was going to grab the gun and the bullets off of the guy that's dead, but if he's also looking, then I wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, he's still like there kind of mounting this dude, pulling his
Okay, never
blades
mind.
out of his meat and sinew that's kind of just spilled out all over the place.
As I'm doing that, to like split
Yeah.
it, and I'll sort of kind of like flick the blades around on top of him, put him in there, and he'll like kick him a little bit. Fair warning, I am one of those rogues. I will investigate every body I kill,
Do it.
because rogue style.
I got
So,
you.
If you have a roll, or would you just, I don't know how you roll
Well,
that.
considering right now, I mean, so there's a crowd of people now making their way around you. You hear the robotic seeming Copperman announcing to these people that it's under control, that there's a Copperman there. And as you kind of reach down and starts digging through his pockets, you see in one, or you can feel in one of the pocket, there's probably a handful of coins. And then the other one, just a pouch of bullets that he used for his gun.
Okay. I mean, coins are cool, but like my rogue would always look more for like practical items than coin. Coin you can pretty much get anywhere. So if I can determine that these are bullets, I'll look up at the kobold and kind of want him type of thing. He doesn't use guns, so
Oh yeah, he puts his hands up.
he kind
Thank you
of
kindly.
he kind of throws it, and
How many bullets are
he'll-
those?
12.
Okay.
and then he'll pocket the coin, but sort of like looking around, saying he's like, oh, I forgot a guy up there. Yeah, whatever. Too much fun.
I was about to let's go. You, Kobold, and Copperman. And then she hesitates. Copperman. Yeah, again, you're welcome to my shop for heals and stuff. Kale, I'm guessing you're with me as always. High five, and I start walking towards my shop.
Okay. All right. So perfect. As you guys start making your way towards your shop, because of the Copperman standing there, kind of announcing to people that there is a presence in the area, most people know that when the Coppermen arrive or are involved in any sort of thing like this, to just absolutely stay away, because more Coppermen are going to come, and it's just going to get ugly. You can start to hear now as you. Gertie, as you and Kale start walking away, you can start to hear the whistles of the Coppermen echoing probably about a block and a half away, but the gunfire always attracts them, seemingly.
So before we kind of move on, Cole would first yell to Gertie. Do you see I grabbed the rifle? Is that cool?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I probably want to use it for gun parts. Cole would yell to Gertie, can you heal my donkey?
Yes.
But then he knows that Juice is there. And he's like, hey, copper metal lady.
Yes.
I know that there's like this kobold that's been running around with a duster and hat, and he's giving me a really bad name. I don't know who that guy is, but as you can see, I'm a good kobold. I just killed these bad gangsters for the Faithless Man. So can we are you going to like arrest me? I mean, right now I really want to see my donkey was hurt. I really love him to get healed. I don't know. Are we going to have an issue here?
Good person.
And I want to like pull up my duster and show her my golden U.S. Marshals badge that I'm wearing.
All right.
She kneels down and kind of peers right at it, like right at you. And she tilts her head and she says, good person.
Yes.
At that, Kale just goes like,
She stands back up and she gestures to the donkey and she says, your strange creature seems to be hurt. Yes, please do help it.
Okay, so we're cool then. That's good to know. And he's like, let's go. He needs help right now.
Come on. Like trying to herd cats here. Like, we're all going this way. Come on.
All right, so the three of you and Lightning follows. Just, you are pretty damaged. You can tell that. I'd say the choice is absolutely whatever you decide.
I suppose I'm going to follow them just to make sure that the donkey is safe, because I don't know what this creature is and I need to ask questions about it.
I love this so much.
love it.
Perfect. Okay. So pushing yourself through the crowd, most of it parts as you guys make your way through, especially the big automaton Copperman marching through the streets. Avoiding the whistles that you hear throughout the neighborhood. You guys spend about, 5-10 minutes and make your way back to Gertie's closed up shop.
Okay.
Gertie, as you walk in, go ahead and describe how your shop looks.
She spends a little time. She gets a big old ring of keys and she unlocks the door. And as you walk in, you see just shelves and shelves and shelves of potions. You see herbs behind this counter kind of sitting. It's an older shop. It's almost made entirely of wood. You see in the back, a couple of like weird copper pieces and stuff. But for the most part, it's just a bunch of herbs and plants hanging, drying on just kind of rows of really well-organized potions. So she kind of leads everybody behind the counter to this little back area, which is basically a big living room, which is decidedly more messy than the front room. Kayla's been here before, but for all of you, it's that it's kind of a perfect room that you would expect Gertie to have, it looks like organized chaos. Just books stacked everywhere, piles of leaves, kind of just basically clutter everywhere. But it looks like for some reason there's a reason for all of the clutter. There's a small fireplace, a couch, and a couple of chairs. So she hurries to make room on the couch and the chairs. Sit down, sit down, sit down. And so
Kale
she
just goes to her desk and sits there because he doesn't care.
No.
I got the donkey. He's bleeding out.
Oh, fine. I go over to this donkey. What's the donkey's name?
His name is Lightning because he's the fastest mount inside of the Atlantic.
Oh, okay. Hey, Lightning. Hey, how you doing? She is kind of like stroking this donkey's head as she casts Cure Wounds. As soon as I get my character sheet up.
Donkey.
Yes. So that's 9 healing.
Nice.
More than enough.
Okay. Let's see. I turn. Kale, you need some healing too, right?
He's like, I could use some.
Okay, for you, since you have a little bit more damage, I am going to. No, that's not what I'm going to use. I'm going to use a full string drat on you. So basically, I've got a healing potion. And so at first level, I learned to temporarily reinforce. Oh, no, that's not. I don't need to do the temporary stuff. Never mind then. 4 hit points in addition. I'll use Cure Wounds on you as well.
We could take a rest in here too, right?
A short rest, maybe?
Yeah. If you didn't want to use all your healing spells right now.
Well, the Cure Wounds, it doesn't need a. I can just keep on using
really?
it. It doesn't.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
It's one of your wonders or something?
It's one of the things that I've got for infused magic. But no, it's one of the. Yeah, right. So you've got 6 healing points, and then I can also. Are you at least stable for right now? Because I can give you like a potion later, I guess.
Yeah. I'm 15. I'm good.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go up to Just and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. What's their name again? What's the Miss Copper man? Did you have a name or something?"
Oh, yes. My name is Just.
I turned to Kale like, she has her own name. All right, just that's
He
very
kind of
fine.
rolls his eyes. And he's like, oh.
I don't suppose that you've noticed that you might be, as I'm going to cast Mending on her. It's going to take a minute. And so while this is taking place, I'm going to be like, I don't suppose you notice anything different about yourself from other copper men, do you? You look very familiar to me.
I am a clockwork automaton. The only clockwork automaton in the Copperman Force.
You are the best clockwork automaton, and as far as I know, the only clockwork automaton made in this entire city. You wouldn't by chance happen to have worked for a man called Libra, would you?
And at that, her eyes kind of just widen a little bit. The eyelid type things kind of just go full open, and she tilts her head and she says, "Libra," and then her eyes kind of go sad.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. You just look very familiar to a construct that I once built for a man who I thought might have been doing good, but wasn't doing so good. But Maybe I was mistaken, Just. Maybe you don't know who this Libra person is, and maybe I am just an old fool. And
Libra was my master.
oh, I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! And at this, she's like, she's super, super happy. Oh my God, you chose a name for yourself. Let me tell you, I did not want to give you to that terrible, terrible, terrible man. I did not know he was from the mafia. But then once I knew, I was scared to, because otherwise he would have killed me if I didn't give you. So I started up the money, and I always thought of you. Oh, I'm so glad you're okay. How did you get away from that terrible man?
Terrible man?
How did you get away from your master? Was that the term she used? And she's turning towards you guys now, like, master, I think?
I have no idea what is happening.
Wait, Kale, if you're talking, I can't hear you.
Who are you again? I don't know any of your names.
He's looking at his gash, kind of ignoring everybody. He's like, I think it's pretty deep in there.
You guys are no help. I'm Gertie, by the way, tiny kobold.
Tiny? I'm taller than you, short stuff.
No. No. Not right now, tiny kobold. Are you okay? Just, is there anything I can help you with? Are you just working for the Coppermen now?
I am working for the Coppermen. I am trying to find who killed my master.
Libra's dead?
At this, Kale does kind of like stop and kind of slowly looks, one eyebrow raised. He's
I kind
like,
of
full attention now.
Yeah, I kind of mouth over. So you don't know who killed your master?
No.
That's interesting. Kobold. Tiny kobold. Points it.
Again, taller than you, short stuff.
Shut! Why on earth did you get into a fight with that really classless gang? Really, out of all the people that you could have got in trouble with,
Okay,
you
I
chose.
didn't get into a fight with anybody. They came and were going to attack us. I just shot first. And they're very bad men working for a very, very bad man or woman or person. I don't know. Some faceless person, faceless man, they call themselves.
Oh, honey, they're not really that bad. I mean, yeah, they're a gang, and they've stolen some of my apothecary stuff, and they have to do with some drugs. But as far as I know, not really that big of a thing. Petty theft.
As far as you know. Those of us in the know. Okay. They're making like, have you ever heard of the MIA?
I look around.
Kale goes,
Have they ever heard of the MIA?
Howie Diaz.
Gertie would have through her time at the university. She would have heard about them. Probably not met anybody representing them, but has certainly heard about their presence in the area and more or less what their goals are.
Okay, so at this, I'm guessing she would sober up a little bit at this whole being like, the MIA, have you heard of the MIA? Yeah, yes, I have heard of the MIA. What about them?
Well, you see, I'm working with them. We have kind of an alliance. Well, they're really kind of working for me, but moving on.
Wait. The MIA is working for you.
Well, it's a mutual thing. We're on equal levels. That's all I'm saying. But anyways.
Can I roll insight on him? I'm listening to this BS over here.
Right.
I don't think I have
Can
a
I roll
trade.
deception then?
Please do.
Ooh, amazing.
Oh
I
man,
don't know. What does that
That's-
mean?
that means I
That means
call
your bullshit
BS.
sounds
Okay.
just right enough.
But he knows I'm not like totally bullshit. He just thinks I'm elaborating, right? Like, because I'm not totally bullshitting.
Maybe with the 12 and 12, you know that he's not totally bullshitting, but he's definitely elaborating.
So behind him, I go like this to Gertie. Quotation
Okay.
marks.
Anyways, they've been up to really deep stuff like kidnapping scientists and building big constructs that and devices that can nullify magic and also trying to build up a mannequin army or something. There's all this crazy stuff that they're doing. Yes, I know it's very impressive that I'm involved in this. And yeah, they're not good. They're not just some petty criminals. They're trying to take over the city or something. And like I
You're
said,
saying
yes.
Faceless Man, group of petty thefts, or at least I thought they were. They're building an army of constructs.
Of mannequins and machines that can nullify magic and giant like people constructs that you can get in and pilot when you do drugs and what else? And they've been, like I said, they've been kidnapping scientists. I would watch out for you. Keep yourself safe because they're after you as thinking scientist types.
So like at his comment, Kale would just kind of take out the sword. He's looking at. I think she'll be all right. Puts it back in.
Yes, I mean I saw your impressive like diving cuts to the neck thing. That was pretty cool. But I mean those that was nothing. That battle we just fought. You know that battle where you almost died? That was nothing. Their network is vast and complex, and they're all kind of evil. So if you guys don't believe me, why don't you come to the MIA headquarters with me? I can introduce you. You can get the scoop, as it were.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, Gertie can go. I'll just chill here.
No. Kale.
And he kind of looks at her. He's like, "Do I really have to? Like, do I not do enough for you already?" He kind of like he's just sort of kind of whispering, but kind of loud whispers. He's like, "Do I not do enough for you already? Do I have to go in a room full of cops? Really?"
You don't have to. I'm just here to remind you. I am a very, very tiny scientist who has one little tiny crossbow. And as you saw in the last fight, it can't hit anything very much.
Oh, save it.
I'm just saying,
Fine.
it'd be much safer if my good friend, my good buddy, Kale went with me. And I'm like nudging his shin because it's all I can reach. Like
He goes, yeah, no problem. Oh, yeah.
oh no, here, let me get you a
Really
potion.
hurts.
Can Cole
By the
take
way,
that
you
in?
owe me 10 gold for all the drinks I've paid for you.
You guys have a really strange relationship, don't you?
You're the one telling me.
As Cole's like brushing his donkey inside his mane.
Strange.
Very strange relationship.
So
Speaking of-
Kel goes, it's like, so. Like he kind of points at Just, sort of kind of like waiting for an explanation. You know, if he's gonna go with her, like he sort of doesn't want to be in the dark about things. He sort of like put up with, gear, because that's who she is. But then it's like, all right, this is gonna get serious, so I need to be fully in, not just stepping in.
At this point, Gertie's writing all of this on her arm with her pen. Just like, I gotta take notes and I gotta think about this. You guys do your own thing.
You can hear whistles outside the shop and the footsteps of running people marching down the streets towards where you guys had just left. All the commotion there in the middle of the road. It looks like there's quite a few coppermen out and about currently investigating the thing. You see some of them kind of peeking in through windows, and as you wave, one of them stops, and he kind of knocks on the door. You're muted.
I kind of motion for everybody to stay in the back room. I go to the front. Come on in. Come on in. It's not locked, so you can come in. It's a shop.
He kind of pushes open the door, looks around. It's quite late for you to be open.
Not really. Not really. It's still. What time is it?
Like 11:30 at night.
Really? Well, I opened up. I considered with all of the commotion, there might be a couple people hurt. Never a bad time to sell. Can I help you?
Actually, kind of looks around. I got this rash. I don't really know where I got it from, but it started out just itching. Then I got
Makes
pimples. I don't really
How
want
long
to.
No, I get you. How long has this been going on?
Oh, it's been about 3 weeks now, and it's just kind of getting worse.
Oh man. It's been kind of blistering a little bit.
Kind of
right?
shifts his weight a little bit.
Mhm. Yeah, I got something that you need. She goes up to the wall and she's looking, and she comes up with this kind of deep purple little concoction, pulls it out. Okay, here's what you do with this. It's a little bit thick. I'm going to take this and you're going to blot, not smear, blot this on your rash every night for the next week.
Does it smell?
Does it care if it gets the itchiness away?
Well, I mean, a little bit. I go to sleep next to my wife, and she doesn't quite know about the rash. I don't really want to tell her how I got it, where I got it. If it stinks, I want to know. If it's...
She opens it up and kind of whiffs. It has a medicinal smell. It's nothing too horrible. A little bit like almost a mossy
Sure.
smell.
All right. How much you want for it?
Let me see what kind of comparable prices there are.
He just kind of digs in. He pulls out about 3 gold pieces, puts them on the counter. Yeah.
That will work. All right.
Appreciate it.
Come back if that gets any worse, all right?
Oh, I will. Thanks. And he turns towards the door, and he can see he just like looking at this bottle. He just like, finally some end to my discomfort randomly. And he walks away, and you see a couple other guards walking towards him, like asking, "Everything all right?" "Oh yeah, it's fine. Let's go. And they all seem to make their way down, leaving you in peace.
And I come back and I kind of have the 3 gold. And that, folks, is how you make a business. Slips the coin in her pocket.
Right. So you, copper, metal, bronze, whatever, lawwoman.
Yes.
Her
You're
name
with
is
the
Zeus.
you're with the coppermen, so I hear it.
Yes. And you are a wanted criminal.
Well, they're very corrupt, right? They're not really the law of the people.
What do you mean?
I mean, they don't really serve justice. They serve their own pockets. Are you one of those?
She looks down at the pockets on her trousers. I have pockets.
I meant they serve coins. They take bribes. They look the other way. They go after people they shouldn't. They don't really care about the law or the little man or the little kobold. In my case, they only care about themselves.
I do not only care about myself.
Ah, that's good.
Aw.
Because I am no criminal. The only thing that I'm guilty of is being in the wrong place at the wrong time and dedicating myself to justice.
Justice.
Yes,
And her eyes kind of sparkle a little bit.
that was cool.
Justice. Okay, I get it.
Your name is Juice? Juice?
Say
believe-
just.
Juice.
Just.
Like orange juice.
I was trying to hold it in.
I like it. I love orange juice. Okay. I actually like you. You're the-
sad.
Oh no, what's wrong? I like you. You're the first Copperman I've ever liked. You seem on a level.
I am on ground level.
Yes. So we don't have a problem, me and you, right? You can see that I'm a good kobold. I'm living up to the ideals of the, and I pull out my Jesus, my duster again, and the sparkling U.S. Marshal badge. I kind of shine a little bit. It's not very. It's definitely been through the works. It's a little dull in some places, a little scratched, but it's a pretty unique, genuine U.S. Marshal's badge. You see, I carry the badge of the heroes of the West.
So every time he says heroes or justice or stuff, like you can see sort of Kale just like lay his own thing and then I put up two arms with quotation marks and then go back to doing what he's doing.
It's just behind me, right?
Yeah, he's just like in the background in the couch, just kind of minding his own business.
Just kneels down again, and she this time reaches over and carefully just tap 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 on the marshal's badge.
It's a heavy piece of metal. It's solid. Yeah.
And she tilts her head and she says, "Good person." And she stands up again and she nods.
Okay. Give a little hat thing. Yes. Oh, we're both doing it to each other now. Okay. It's a thing. It's a thing.
All right. So what do you guys want to do as the commotion outside seems to have died down now?
I would still like to take a short rest, I guess, just to wait until everything's like an hour, just kind of chill, to let everything settle down and right.
Y'all are
We
welcome.
go out again.
Sure. I would have let Gertie know. He's like, I think we should stay in for a little bit just to be safe.
I agree. And plus, I don't know enough about you to trust what you're saying about this faceless man being
What I said,
bad guy.
let's just hang out for a minute or an hour or whatever, and then we'll go. I'll take you to the MIA headquarters, and they can back up everything I've said.
But how do I know that you're going to lead us to the MIA headquarters and not into a trap?
What trap? Okay, I have my donkey here with me. You think I'm gonna lead my donkey into a trap? You think I'm the type of maniac? Suicide? I'm gonna hurt my own donkey? What are you, crazy?
Tia thinks about responding. And then as he goes on about his donkey. Okay. I turn to Kale. I think it might be worth checking out. It fits with some...
He kind of looks at her and he gives her that look. So he's like, are we getting paid?
They might pay you. They paid me 40 gold. Ding, 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 ding.
They paid you?
Yes, I told you. We're working equal terms. We're the partnership.
Oh, we're going. We're checking this out. I turn to Kale. They're paying us.
He goes, 10 plus 5, 15. Sure, 15 coins you owe me now. No problem.
And she takes out the 3. Here's 3. Take it.
He
Get
goes.
you the rest later.
Mm-hmm. Then he goes like that to her. Okay.
Sure, yeah, I'll write it down.
So
Scribbly writes down something.
So you're Gertie, right? Gertie?
Yeah,
That's what
me.
they call her.
So here's as a token of goodwill, I found this thing. I can't really use it. You're into magics and stuff like that.
I can do magic.
Paper and scrolls. Okay, I found this, and he hands you a scroll. Like a very nice, very elegant, with like a nice, elaborate script on it.
Okay. I open up the scroll.
Yeah.
What does it say? What is it?
It's a, I don't know, Adam. There. It is a, Cole doesn't know what it is, but I'm assuming you would just know, right, Adam?
What are you talking about?
14, 15.
The scroll of protection from elements.
Oh, yeah. It's
Just the-
yeah, it's just the spell.
Okay.
Spell scroll, yeah.
Oh. That's kind of nifty.
So as
Yeah,
a
I
token
could
of
use
goodwill, yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
shall we go? You guys, how about this? You guys, you can hold on to lightning, and I'll walk in front.
Lightning. And her eyes sparkle again.
Oh, that's his name, isn't it? The mighty steed, lightning, could move faster than a bolt of lightning across the horizon.
Donkey. She turns to go and very awkwardly pet its head again.
He's fine. He can take it. Here, I hand you an apple to
Amazing.
give to him. I hand you an apple to give to him.
All right. It looks like Just is.
Your whole hand is like there's a little bit of
It looks like Just has the donkey. You, Tiny Kobold, are going to be in front.
yep.
And I'm going to have the other two. No, because I feel like Just and Thunder will be in the back, and then Kale and I will be in the middle. It'll just be good. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Take us to this place that
Okay.
will pay us.
So
Yes.
we go toward the MIA headquarters, and while we're going, I'm gonna like be, I'm aware. I want to be aware of search mode, just if there's any Iron Man or Coppermen or what's it called?
You and me both.
Faceless Men gangs, because I can search and not be slowed.
Okay, sure. Searching. I'm gonna write that down for
By
coppers.
Ranger, yeah, the Ranger thing.
All right. So as you guys head out of the shop, looking around, there's really no commotion, no lamps lit, nobody really walking back or forth. You guys could easily make your way out in the order that you had chosen. And as you look up towards the giant copper and brass spire sticking out of the middle of the center of the city, you just see the random lamps and lights glowing off of it as it shines every single night, that as long as you've seen it. You make your way towards it, trying your best not to be spotted. And that is where we're going to pick up next time.
All right.
There's.
Oh, this is awesome!
Thank you guys so much for hanging out and playing this fun little D&D game. I hope you're enjoying yourself. Thanks to everybody who came on Twitch and watched our little silliness here. Come back on Friday for the Battle Arena. Next Monday, I believe, is the start of the new Harmony campaign. That's pretty awesome. We got some art from @Splattered Ink coming soon for the new character portraits that are going to be up here. That's going to be pretty awesome. Let's see. We got some stuff almost Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. 4 out of the 5 nights of the week, we got streams going on now. All original content using different systems, different games, different players, except for Genji. She just kind of hoards it all. In 3 out of the 4 games. And are you in the Battle Arena this week?
Not this week.
No, I don't. Okay.
Next week.
All right. So.
True, Genji.
So again, thank you all for coming. Stop by the Discord, follow the Twitch channel so that you can get notified whenever we're going live with some shenanigans here. Anybody else have any shout outs they want to shout out?
Do we do plugs here or no? I
Yeah,
don't know.
plug anything you want. Just remember, we have to be TV 17.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I mean,
coming out
it
swinging.
actually does. It pertains a little bit. So my name is Abigator Frenzy. You can find me at Twitter and on Twitch under the same name. I am a librarian by trade. I read books. A lot of times I read really cheesy romance novels, and this is where the NC-17 comes in. I'm currently reading 50 Shades of Grey and ranting over how ridiculous and just poorly written and blah the whole thing is. So if you want to see more of me blathering about stuff. I do things. And seriously, hit the follow button. This channel's awesome. I enjoy
We
it.
always want to see more of you. She's
Yes.
awesome, guys.
New follower detected.
Oh, and apparently soon this channel's going to have prize giveaways.
We
Holy
will.
poop.
Partnering up with a few organizations that are going to be allowing Kronos World to do some giveaways for those who are watching the streams. Check us out in the Discord to chat with us, ask any questions you want. I'm totally open to being told how many mistakes per session I make as far as the GM goes. I'd love to keep a tally, no worries. And if nobody else has anything, I think we're going to leave it there and this Wednesday night with the bang. And we'll see you soon.
Night, everybody.
Right.